then there will not be any language barrier. Whether the speaker is speaking in English or Hindi, he is not speaking in my language. That will not come in front of you if you listen to the speaker with heart. Ready, everyone? Great. So to tell about this speaker, to tell about him, I started business in 2012, November 16th. Request you all to please switch on your video. If you won't switch on your video, you are going to a movie and closing your eyes and listening to the movie. Then how it will be? Will you feel the picturization of the movie, beautiness of the movie? Then how the movie will be? So here also same. You cannot see the speaker, or you are doing something and listening to the system, then you will not take any learning to your mind or heart. Then if you won't take any learning to your mind or heart, then it will not be helpful for your growth. So to tell about the speaker, 2012 November 16th I started the business. November 25th this person traveled to Hyderabad. So I attended my first BTC with him on December 2nd. System I attended with him 25th November. Then this person, along with him, I mean he is in service, but I attended, because of him I attended Icon 2012. Because of his guidance, I am there in this business till now. To tell about the speaker once he started traveling to Hyderabad, then he used to travel weekly. In the weekends he used to travel to Hyderabad, but after approximately 3 months he completely shifted to Hyderabad, leaving his family alone, and he made his Hyderabad as his home, and he used to go to Mumbai monthly once. That is the commitment he has towards this business. Not only commitment, his consistency. He almost stayed in Hyderabad for 3 years, left his family and guided Hyderabad team in such a way. Today, because of him, without his presence also Hyderabad is there. He is very calm and composed. I can tell you, he is like my big brother, but 3 years back my father passed away. Now he has occupied that position. For me, he is everything. Not only in terms of business related issues or anything, personally also, he is the person I will call immediately and I will ask, aisa hai, now what to do? I don't know, immediately he tells something like Guruji, and that problem will go away. Hyderabad entirely loves biryani, but Hyderabad team entirely loves this person. You all know about Hyderabad biryani, right? He is one of the recipe of Hyderabadi biryani. He is having a banking experience of 10 years. He worked with 2 banks. One is ABN AMRO, another one is ICICI Bank. ABN AMRO he worked almost for 9+ years. He worked as an AVP who is to handle entire credit division. He is to handle Nasik region. But after that he started this business. Almost now it is 11 years plus after he started this business. He is having markets across India. Not only in India, he is having markets in US, Japan, Australia, in so many other places also. I don't know, his parents might be knowing about him. Because of that, when he has born, they kept a name. The name itself says that he is going to give more to the society. Basically, he is a Carolite, but he will not take anything light when it comes to business. So the name is, I already told you, it gives lots of things to people. The name is Sandesh. So I am very happy, I am very privileged to tell about him. So everyone rise and please welcome Mr. Sandesh Menon.
Tripal, you're listening to me for the first time, huh? Okay, right. So I can even see all the people who have kept the video off. They are also raising hands by keeping it off. It would be more better if you keep it on so that I can see clearly, right? Fantastic. So I don't know what I'm going to talk today because, as we always say, you get to know that uh, you're going to speak, okay, but you don't know what you're going to speak, correct? Is it a good situation, right? You get to know what you're going to speak, right? After you spend time, okay, but you don't know what you're going to speak, right? So I'll try and put whatever I have got through this business, through my applying, through my mistakes. Okay, we always say that the best learning experience is the mistakes that we have done throughout. Unlike the corporate days, wherein I've never seen any of the bosses sharing their mistakes. Okay, so I don't know what is the trend currently in corporate. Does bosses share their mistakes? Right. In my days, it was not happening. They always used to boast, we are perfect. Right. So I will try and share whatever I got from this business. Right. It's not a serious topic, although I come across as a serious person. Right. So you don't need to be so serious. You can have a smile. Okay. So how many of you were pushed and pulled to attend the system? Right. So all I can say is not only this system, any system, you are blessed if you have someone who can pull you into the system. Correct. So after the system, go and say thank you. And after every system, go and say thank you to that person so that you have that person who can pull you into the system. Because there are so many people for whom there is nobody to pull into the system. And they are praying कि मेरा काश मेरे पास कोई है. Correct. So I'll start with a little of how I got started. How many of you want to know how I got started in the business? Correct. Because 12 plus years, the Purani jeans hai, right? How many of you remember those songs? Purani jeans, right? So we are old timers, correct? So 12 years ago, obviously, like all most of the people out here, I was also one of the person working in corporate, doing pretty well for myself. Okay, happy with the job, what I'm doing, but not happy with the timing which I'm giving. How many of you could understand this? Okay, happy with the job, happy with the uh, job profile, happy with the role, correct? But not happy with the timings that I was going through, not happy with the lifestyle which I was living into. And especially in Mumbai, not happy with the traveling, correct? Because Mumbaikars, we spend more than, if it is 8 hours working, officially, unofficially, we all know how much we work. So we spend more than 4 hours or 6 hours only in traveling. Right? How many of you Mumbaikars here can wave hands? You travel 4 to 6 hours a day, whether local transport or self-driven car. The timing remains the same. Only the comfort changes. Okay. So I was like that only, not happy with the timings, not happy with the train travel. Okay. And and that's when I was always wanting to look at something which would change. I don't know what I was looking at. Right. So I worked in corporate. I worked with my bank, which I'm sure Prasanna Kumar has already mentioned it. Right. I worked at that bank, enjoyed working there, started from the base and started growing in positions. Okay. I was heading a city wherein I had to introduce a product which is credit card. Okay. It's like starting from the scratch. And there also I was known to go and build a new market. So maybe going to a new city, settling down, leaving the family, it started from corporate days only. Correct. So for me, it was not new when I had to do this in my business because this is something which I've been doing consistently in corporate. But the only difference was this time I felt that this is my own business, my own baby. I'm doing it for myself. So I enjoyed doing every bit of it. Correct. Never I did that with pressure. Never I did that with that irritation or frustration. Correct. So when I was going through this routine life, okay, how many of you have seen the financials? which you are applying, you would have shown the circle that you draw, correct? And few people even tear off the pages drawing the circle, correct? My life was almost into that situation uh, wherein I had no time for myself. I was working more than 12 hours, including work, travel, and all. And that is when one fine day I get a call from a nice person, a good soul. Okay. And even before that, there are a lot of other stories. Do you want to listen to that? How I got okay that call, before even that call, there was few indicators which came to me. Correct. So in banking, I'm sure we all work together. We all have lunch together. We all have chai together. We gossip together. Okay, we bitch about our bosses together. So this person was one of those. Wherever time comes, we used to get along. We used to talk. Even after moving on to different companies, we still keep in touch with few people. Yes or no? Correct. So this person was always there. That the connect was always there. In those days, there was no WhatsApp, there was no video calls. Okay, we had those. I think BlackBerry was not even there when I was working. Proper SMS and all. So one fine day, I get a call from my friend, and she said, "Please, Sandy, give me your address." Okay, so I got shocked. And then all of a sudden, she's calling me and asking for an address. And so I said, "For what?" She said, "No, I'm sending you something." Okay. And so I said, मेरा तो बर्थडे है नहीं, what are you sending? अरे मिल जाएगा तब मैं बताती हूँ, right? So I said, okay, I gave my address, and after few days, 4-5 days, I think there was no call and all. So I said, ठीक है, ऐसे ही बोल दिया होगा, मजाक किया होगा, कभी कभी मजाक करने का भी मूड आता है, right? And after 4-5 days, I think she called up again and said, did you receive the parcel? So I said, I think today morning something came up. I think my wife collected. Let me check. So I said, yeah, some envelope has come in. She said, open it up. So I opened it up. So it was a CD. Okay. So I was surprised. What is the CD all about? She said, Sandy, I want you to watch this movie. Okay. And अच्छे से नहा धो के तैयार होके अपने बेडरूम में जाना, लाइट्स वाइट्स बंद कर लेना. Ask your wife also join along with you. So I was a little confused. What is the CD all about? Right. So she is asking me to get into the bedroom and lights off and go along with your partner and all. So she said, nothing, just watch it, and after you watch it, I'll call you. So I was clueless. What? And you know what was the movie's name? It was more confusing. That gave me more doubt. The movie's name was That Secret. Correct. At least I would have got some clue out of the movie name, but the movie also said The Secret. So I was confused. What is this all about? She is also not telling me what it is all about. So I said, okay, let me try. And as she told, I did exactly the same. And you know how spouses react when you want her to do something, right? So she was also not very happy, but then fine, I coaxed her and she also joined. And we used to have that Sony DVD player in those days, right? 2009-10. So I tried put that CD, and on the screen it came, this CD is not compatible with your device, correct? The suspense started growing again, right? इतना tempo build करके I was ready to watch it, and it is saying it is not compatible, right? And after 2 days, she didn't call, and again she called up and asked, "So did you watch? How was the movie?" I said, "It says it's not compatible. I couldn't watch it." Right? So she said, "Oh yeah, even a few of my friends told me this. Anyways, let me see how we can work it out and all." And that's all. After that, no call from her for many days, or rather, few months. And I was that going on in my mind. All of a sudden, why she wanted to give me this CD, and it didn't work also, and then she didn't follow up also. Correct? Now, this is one side of the story. The secret came to me even before the business. And then suddenly one day I get a call. I was in my office and she said, Sandy, what are you doing? I said, I'm just leaving my office. So why didn't you drop into my house? Something urgent which I want to talk to you. Right. So I said, Abhi, because you all know, एक बार ऑफिस छूट जाता है तो हमारे दिमाग में क्या चलता है, right? You always want to go towards your house, right? But when someone asks you to go towards north again, wherein your house is much more far from there, you tend to try and give some excuses. But then I couldn't say no to her. She said, why don't you come down, something urgent? I said, maybe कुछ urgent होगा इसलिए बुला रहे हैं. So I went. So she was staying in this one bedroom apartment in a place called as Chembur. Okay. And I went there and we discussed few things here and there. And then she started opening up her diary book and started scribbling something. And that's where I first time got introduced to this business. Right. There are a few more other things, but I'm just cut shorting a lot of things, right? Because it will take a lot of time to discuss if I keep on talking, right? And she explained me the business, and I could see the confidence in her eyes. She was referring to something in between. I was not knowing what it is all about, and she was even mentioning, I'm referring back so that I don't miss out any important things to you. Correct? Today, if you see, we get to know what she is referring. She is referring the plan. Correct? But she was so genuine, and I saw that honesty. And believe me, I was completely in trust. And when the final thing came, which is the marathon and relay, that is where it hit me. Because I exactly saw my life in that circle which was going on. And I said, I want to move out of the circle. I don't want to live the circle, the entire life in that circle. And I could seriously see myself into that. I've seen my parents into this, doing the same thing for 20 plus years. Right. So that genuinity and the trust was already there. And when she showed me this business, I had no second thoughts at all. Correct. There was no qualifiers. Correct. Because I could be, yes, obviously, you may call it as a semi hot zone kind of, right? So no qualifiers needed because it was very sure that I am a part of this. And I said, yes, I'm in. And that's how I got started, right? This is like around 10, 11 plus years. And today I understand with what sincerity is what she explained the business to me. I never judged at all. I saw that she is offering me something wherein we can grow together. And that's exactly what he said. हम सब साथ में करते हैं चल Sandy, let's start together and grow together. And that's the line which I like the most. चल साथ में करते हैं कभी ऐसा मौका मिला नहीं कि साथ में कुछ करें. Let's do it together. We never got such an opportunity wherein two friends can work together. That is an idea which I bought into. I said, in our life, if we can trust somebody whom suddenly somebody comes and says, this person is going to be your boss from here on, as long as you work in this company. And we don't even know that person. And we try to do everything for that person. We try to keep that person happy. We try to manage perceptions. Yes or no? Right? Because everything is in that person's hand. If that person shouts also, we don't have a choice. We still keep the smile. So that's a stranger. And if we can do this to a stranger for our growth, why can't we do this and take a chance for a friend whom we know very well? And most importantly, why not listen to that friend? So was it easy for me? No. Even I also went through that, what do you say, good friends. And should I really listen to this person or not? That phase also I've gone through, right? But I enjoyed every bit of it. So the person who gave me this opportunity, okay, today this person, for most of us, she is our guiding light, right? And we lovingly call her as coach. Some of them call her as Amma, correct? For me, I call her Sharfun, right? Because it's always better what you're comfortable about, right? But that respect is still there. Because right from the day I started till today, I have never judged. I've made a lot of mistakes, definitely. Have I listened everything what she said? No. But I've never judged her, never doubted what she said, never bitched about her. That is for sure. Because I knew whatever she does, it's with pure intent. And if people doubt her, God bless them then. Correct? And that's exactly I got connected to this business, that trust factor. Right? I didn't sign up for success. She didn't show what she is successful of because we all started off almost at a similar situation financially or whatever it is. I told you, I mean, she was living in a one bedroom apartment, a rented apartment, right? Although she was living in a better house than me, she was looking after the house also very well because she is very clear about her cleanliness in the house. You can call it as an OCD or whatever, correct? So I'm not that uh, perfect in keeping the house neat and clean. How many of you have an OCD in keeping the house clean? Yeah. So my upline is very clear about it. Things has to be at its own place, correct? So this association started happening. So once I started up, we enjoyed. We used to go to her house. Okay, initially she used to put her creative ways to call her to her place. That's an association because we didn't knew coffee shop in those days, or even if we knew, we didn't had the what do you say financial capability to go to a coffee shop every day. How many of you have gone through this stage also? When applying says coffee shop, oh, I need to put in money now every day. So वो mindset था ही नहीं, वो buying ही नहीं था कि coffee shop. Why will somebody go to a coffee shop to buy an 100 rupees uh, that lagered coffee, right? Uh, full of surf का पानी, है ना? So that's exactly. So we used to be at her home, right? She used to say, "Ki Sandy, move out of the house, 11 in the morning." And this happened when I became eventually a full timer. So my journey to be a full timer, that was my goal first when I started out, like every other person, a corporate person. The first thing that we want is to leave the job. But the last thing to happen because the salary is so important. The salary is taking care of your EMIs, your basic expenses, everything is being taken. So we don't have a buying instantly. But it happened gradually. At least I saw a hope that this can happen. I have something parallelly to work on. So day one, it was there that parallelly I have something to work on, which eventually I will be able to come out of my job, which means my marathon of 12 to 14 hours a day working and traveling, I will have it, I will regain that time of mine back, right? And the only reason I was putting my 12 to 14 hours a day is because I need that paycheck. Yes or no? That's how most of us go there for that paycheck. So that paycheck amount you can cover up in the business that you have started. Why not then have this goal of coming out of it? So this was the first thing. My upline always said, don't leave because they had their own experiences. Some of our uplines left uh, with that Josh and they could continue, but they struggled. They had their difficult times. That's why they suggest do not leave without planning, right? So even if anybody is wanting to go full time, sit with your upline, do a planning, achieve those goals. When you keep achieving those goals, you're coming near to what you really want, right? My upline never forced me to leave the job. It was an option. It was my choice. I want to. Why? Because only then I'll be able to build. Only then, if there is a I have to go to a different market and build. I can't be working, right, parallelly. I have to give my 100%. So when I left, before I left my job, what all basics which I did, and the only person responsible who made me walk through those basics is my upline. I told you, I mean, she did her creative ways to get us. Sandy, where are you? I'm so and so, this place. Come down. Something very important. बहुत exciting है. कुछ important discuss करना है. I used to go all the way from office directly. I told you again, it is a demotivation. From office, you're going on the other side, right? And reach to the place. Some of you guys know Carter Road. Okay. So we used to reach Carter Road and wait for applying something exciting she is going to discuss. And I can see my upline is there talking to someone, and she's so busy talking to different people. 2 घंटे तो ऐसे ही निकल गए. In that 2 hours, she always ensured when you come, read a book, sit in association, sit for a plan, do something, but don't sit idle. I'm sure some of your uplines would have told you this. Don't sit idle in association. Look out if there is a plan happening, request that person, go and sit in that plan. Or read a book. If you don't have a book, borrow a book. Correct? So we used to do all those things because our upline used to push to do. अच्छा लगता था बुक पढ़ना? बिल्कुल नहीं. हमने पढ़ाई कैसे की हमको पता है ना, कैसे कंप्लीट किए वो हमको पता है, कैसे किए वो तो दूर की बात है, राइट? हाउ डिड आई फिनिश माय स्टडीज आई ओनली नो, राइट? When I wrote my last exam, I don't know, I put all my books forever. I said अब दोबारा इस तरफ मुड़ के नहीं देखना. How many of you have done that, right? दोबारा नहीं देखना ये books को. And then suddenly somebody is coming and telling me start reading books again. The only good news was the books was very thin, not the heavy duty books that we used to have. But then आदत है ना, not liking. The moment I read the index page, I fall asleep. Correct? Forget the second, third page. In preface होता है ना, the author's introduction. That page I feel like sleeping. Completing the book was a big task, but it happened day by day. It happened day by day. And then I started enjoying reading the book because I understood reading the book, you gain a lot of understanding, you gain a lot of knowledge. If somebody has written a book, that knowledge enhances your confidence. And that I could see when I was reading the book, my confidence was going up. Because I started purely on trust, but the books gave me that filled my gap. What I was not knowing, I was learning from the book. Right. And eventually I got that habit of reading books. Started off saying that boring hai, kaun padega, and all those kind of things, like everybody. So association, everyday association is where we finished our books. And when I got to meet my upline, I said, you said something exciting. Oh, sorry, Sandy, भूल गया. एक काम करते, कल आ जाना, कल हम बात करेंगे उसके बारे में. Correct? So our intention was to somehow get me to the association. ऐसा नहीं कि मुझे समझ में नहीं आता. But then I liked her creativity because she was doing with pure intent, right? इसमें मैं ये सोचा रहे तुमने मेरा टाइम खपा दिया, you wasted my time. If I am thinking on this angle, then I am not understanding her intent. I got a point. She wants me to be there. That is why she came up with cooked up all these stories and all. So eventually we got used to being in that association. Carter Road, there's an amphitheater, right? When we used to stand and talk, when she used to stand and talk, initially it is 4 people, then it becomes a circle, 6, then 10, then 12, then cross lines. Then चलते फिरते लोग भी आके खड़े रहते हैं, क्या सुनने मिल रहा है देख लेते हैं. Correct? How many of you have experienced this in your own association? किसी का कोई वास्ता नहीं, वो भी आके खड़े हो जाते हैं अपने ग्रुप में. क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पे, कुछ नया मिलेगा क्या? Correct? It was fun, right? Going to those coffee shops, ordering one coffee, उसको ठंडा करो, then again reheat the coffee. Correct? Everything we have done to save money, right? Everything we have done. And when we used to see our uplines, and in those days we used to get, I mean, I would say these were my golden eras of my life. In those associations, we could see VP Sachin, VP Dev, all these big guns out there, correct? And we used to get some interactions with them. We used to get some values, and I think earlier also somebody, most of the today what we talk about values from VP Dev, right? I'm sure your uplines would have shared, right? Now, it is not a training program that what he did. Okay, these are the values I want to talk to you. These are the values I mean, our uplines collected in multiple association what they got from VP Dev. And that became the value, right? So imagine if I would have missed the system or if I would have missed the association, do you think I would be able to see VP Dev talking live in front of me? Today, if we have to listen to these speakers, the only option is to go to VCon. Yes or no? Right? If you have to listen to VP Sharfun Sheikh, the only option is to go to big events to VCon. So all these people were normal people like you and me in the same association. Today, I don't know from out of this batch who's going to grow big, right? But that only happens on the habits that we are following. So I still remember the fun time that so when we used to go to association from office directly to association, no going back home. Because once you go back home, what happens? Are we motivated enough to come out of the home now after work? Yeah. दिल पे हाथ रख के बोलो. Every day, are you ready to come out of your home after work? So I know my weakness. If I go into my home, it's very difficult for me to come out. Right? Because there's a different person who keeps talking behind you, right? The other day, I mean, I got a chance to watch a new movie, Spider-Man. There's Black Spider-Man. How many of you watched it? We have seen that red and blue Spider-Man. There is a black Spider-Man. I could relate that black Spider-Man is our voice, which helps us do every opposite thing, which will not help us grow. Correct? So going from office directly to association, doing activities from there. Even 5 plus 3 was not introduced by them. We used to do whatever we had to. गलतियां बहुत कर ली है, right? We have sent messages to the nameless, one templated message. Please call me if you are interested. All those mistakes we have done. In spite of chief telling, upline telling, we still do something secretly, right? We take the movie secret very seriously by doing things secretly. Yes or no? Not following the secret visualization, no, but we do things secretly and not telling upline. So I've done those secret messages and all. And I got some weird messages from my friend. No response. The only two response I got was both of them saying, Sandy, are you well? The other message was, Sandy, do you need any help? Because suddenly they are saying, what is this guy sending message to all those 500 contacts? So I've done all these mistakes, right? If anybody has done it, you still have a chance. The only thing you need to do is go back to your apply, right? Don't feel like, oh, I have done this. Now what will happen? Nothing. Your upline will give you a way out. How to still manage it. So don't do it on your own. Correct? So the association is what made me change every day. Obviously, the trainings, books, VSEL system all played its own important role. But if I would say Why I'm today connected to the business, why I'm today connected to a lot of things, it is the daily association. That helped me because I enjoyed going to the association. Because 12 to 14 hours you work in a corporate life wherein you don't enjoy. You're just doing it for that paycheck. But eventually I saw in this association we are having fun, masti chalu hai, pulling legs, we are doing fun, we are having food, we are ordering one food and 10 people sharing. Okay. Why? Not because we loved each other so much, we didn't have money. Correct? कुछ लोग तो अपने घर से स्पून भी लेके आके रखते थे बैग में, तो शेयरिंग में इजी हो जाएगा. करेक्ट. So we have done all these things. Late night association, late night plans. Okay, back to back plans going on. The coffee shop is about to close. Okay, and the guy is coming in between last 5 minutes, last 10 minutes. There is one person, we put them as in service, Bakaida, unofficial in service. He will handle that waiter. Sunna, please, 5 minutes more, 5 minutes more, 10 minutes more. I'll give you 20 rupees. I'll give you this. Finally, that person's job is at stake. Now he comes and kicks us out, right? Still, we are not having any problem. We go and find out a Chinese stall. Chinese stall का stool होगा, red color का square table बीच में hole होता है. उस पे paper के plan दिखाया हमने. We have shown plans. If you guys have not done this, then you have not enjoyed it, right? If you have only done plan in sophisticated restaurant and AC and all these kind of things, then that's not the plan. We have shown plan at every place, correct? Upline used to call, आ जाओ घर पे, tiffin लेके आ जाना. Because every day we can't afford moving out and having food, and that's not good for health also. Primary reason was funds, right? But how upline used to put, क्यों बाहर का खा के पेट खराब करना है? Let's eat healthy. घर का ही खाना खाओ, सब लोग मिलके शेयर करेंगे, right? We used to have food from the home. I have experiences wherein, I mean, at the same apartment, one bedroom apartment, is where we had our first ever VSL, VP Sachin and down. First ever VSL, right? I was lucky enough to be a part of that. Maybe around 10, 11 people. Okay. I'm sure few more people would be there from that batch. Some of them are looking at time, kab khatam hoga, and all these kind of things. And eventually those people went on to become big leaders, having big teams from those 11 people. So these are the experiences that you get if you are along with your friend. Tomorrow you will also share your story. How many of you want to share your startup story? But that startup has to be with a good intent, right? The startup story should not be like this. Oh, my upline used to call me and I used to avoid the calls. Correct? My upline used to tell me read the books. I never read the book. I judge my upline. Is this the startup story that we need to go and talk? Or something better? Yes, we made a lot of mistakes, but we enjoyed also. We had fun. Correct? We have traveled together to markets. Right? I remember my applying, okay, VP Sharfun. We traveled to Pune. Okay, and I think VP Sachin told me, when you go, you will take your car. I think back then she had an Accord car, right? When she was in India. So just to respect applying, she got the Accord car. But you know where she was sitting? She was sitting along with us. And that car was only driven by the driver. हमको follow कर रहे हैं बस. हमारे साथ बैठे हैं, वो कार खाली फॉलो कर रहा है हमारे साथ फ्रॉम बॉम्बे टू पूना. द ड्राइवर वुड हैव आल्सो थॉट ये क्या हो रहा है. मुझे सिर्फ गाड़ी पीछे पीछे लेके आने के लिए लगा है. शी इज नॉट सिटिंग इन द कार. एंड दैट्स आवर अपलाइन. शी डजंट वांट टू शो ऑफ एंड ऑल. आई एम श्योर यू विल एग्री, राइट? शी डजंट शो ऑफ, correct? Because she wanted to be with us, have fun, do everything together. And these are the small, small things which help me grow in the business. That intent is what I saw. Correct? So I'm sure tomorrow you will also be able to talk like this. Or you will have a better experience of talking. So doing this, I think time started growing. Okay. Team grew, earnings started happening. Parallelly, some few small challenges also came by. Okay. Since the discussion and everything is going along with the small challenges, applying help us to sort out. Okay. Honestly speaking, few people who started along with me, they grew faster than me. And I was like, what has happened? समझ में आ रहा है, हम जब पढ़ाई करते हैं तो हमारे संगत के लोग हमारे साथ सारे खेल कूद में रहते हैं, लेकिन रिजल्ट आता है तो फर्स्ट रैंक आता है, तो हम भी कंफ्यूज हो जाते हैं ना, ये क्या हो गया. हैव यू एक्सपीरियंस दिस? सम ऑफ आवर फ्रेंड्स देयर विथ यू विद ऑल द मस्ती एंड एवरीथिंग, बट ही स्कोर्स फर्स्ट रैंक, he or she scores first rank, and you're confused, ऐसे कैसे हो गया, right? The same thing happened in business also. In corporate also it has happened. People grew faster than me. And the reason why I could understand this is maybe I was slow in picking up few things. I was slow in applying few things. I was learning a lot of things. You become a learned person. But did I apply those learnings when it was required? Maybe no. Didn't apply and tell? Yes. Apply and tell us. Now, they only tell us. They don't push or force us to do something. So I made my mistakes. So I got a message from this. I can't take my sweet time. Whatever I am learning, I have to apply also. Maybe I was slow in doing so. So I saw people growing faster than me, building bigger teams than me, right? Maybe I took a long time to apply and achieve goals for whatever reasons. And suddenly I get a news that my upline is shifting to Dubai. And that's when the reality hit me. Because what I consider is, oh, upline is always accessible whenever I want. Getting it? Upline तो अपना कहावत है ना, घर का ही है, कहीं नहीं जाने वाला. And suddenly I get to know that she is moving out to Dubai. It's not that she is leaving me, but I know when she is moving out, her priorities will change. She will be completely busy out there. Yes or no? When she is available in India, we don't call. And when she is going to Dubai, what are the likely chances that you will make an international call? Huh? During the era of that ISD calling, those red color beep sound coming and you cut the call. Because in those days, we didn't have WhatsApp call also. No different apps and all. Right? You only have to make a ISD call. So I could see all these things. If she is moving to Dubai, then what will happen? It didn't digest. What will happen to me and my team? This was there in my head. So I got my message. And the message is never delay. And made that mistake. Applying will move on if I take time to grow. If I take my own sweet time to grow. If I delay. But the fact is every applying wants us to grow. True or not? Anything that our applying talks, it is leading towards our growth only. So every applying wants us to grow. But let's ask ourselves, are we ready to grow by applying the learned knowledge and skills? Only then it works in the same direction, or rather desired direction. Applying wants us to grow, but are we ready to grow ourselves? Only then it works in that direction. So having said so, I think maybe कुछ अच्छे कर्म किए होंगे. One good thing which happened was I didn't give up. Right? I said, ठीक है, she's going, there will be something that will happen. And I trusted her. It's not like she is leaving. It's like parents put us in boarding school. Does that mean parents are leaving us? So for me, my boarding school started from here on. I have to do everything on my own. I can't crib. I can't cry. I have to use my learnings which I got proactively. So as I said, if you're working with the right hand, if you don't give up, things will fall in place. And that's exactly happened. My upline put me to someone else whom I was aligned to. Right. So thank God. At that point of time, maybe I was in the safe hands. I don't know where I would have been then. I'm very grateful that that happened, and I really grew. I learned how to travel to a market, how to build, how to do plans. I learned through that person. जो होता है हमारे लाइफ में ना एक क्या बोलते हैं it happens for a short time but it happens for a reason, correct? So this was that reason. Through this person I learned. I'm so grateful. I started building my team, my market started growing, correct? But back in my mind I always had this one corner, a regret. When will I get my upline back? Yes or no? It's like all the kids will want. कब मैं boarding school से वापस घर जाऊंगा? So I had this feeling that that is a person with whom you are connected and for whom you have started the business, right? Obviously for my own reason, but it's because of that person you started off the business. And if that person is not at all there in the business, then that's a different case. But that person is there, the person is growing. And if I'm not growing along, whose mistake it is? It's my mistake. Whose loss? My loss, right? After a few years of those boarding school experience, I got back my upline again, right? And this time I decided I'll give whatever I can, right? Because initial years, maybe I didn't give whatever I had to. I didn't want to lose her again. She has come back to me only for this purpose of my personal growth. Correct? Am I audible? Yeah. So things started again. We started pulling up the pieces, understanding where we left, where we got back. Okay. Again, challenges came. Okay, in the form of pandemic. But again, it was only because of her proactiveness that we hardly got to know what is pandemic, because we were more connected than we were normally connected. Every day we were connected with her. Yes or no? She is given more than what she can. And today, what we are talking online is a progressive, what do you say, invention. It's a product of pandemic. Yes or no? Otherwise, who would have thought this, that different parts of people, different countries can listen to the system every Sunday, different speakers you get exposed to, right? So every technology comes with pros and cons also. I still believe in physical systems, but it gives a whole lot of energy. Moving out, getting out of the home is the best way to learn. But yes, we have a technology. Sunday, you just need to get ready, put on your, what do you say, clothes and sit, right? Some of you, the first half is only important. Bottom half is not important, right? Only few will get this, what I said, right? The challenges were there, and every challenge when it came, it was our uplines who took the lead, and they gave us, they got us out of it. They never made us realize it is difficult. They tried fit in their time as long as possible and give us whatever they could give. So I've decided on few things. Battle is on. Still, the battle is on. The pandemic is over. There is something else. There are two viruses which we are still living on with. You want to know what is it? Yeah. One is our habits. There is a voice that keeps talking to you. The voice punctures our habits. How many of you agree? So I will fight it every day. So for me, the battle is still there. The vaccination has just allowed the COVID to reduce its impact or whatever. But these are the two things, and this can only be fought if you are strong in the basics. And what are the basics? The first thing which my upline told me when I became a full-timer, Sandy, get out of the house. And it has a meaning. The sentence has a meaning. You're sitting in the house. This house is getting manipulated. True or not? Your mind is getting manipulated. Who's manipulating? Our own voice. It doesn't allow us to go out of the house. And I saw this message from my upline long back. Sandy, move out of the house. There's a moment we move out of the house, we are like, बहुत बड़ा जंग जीत लिया. How many of you feel that? The moment you step out of the house, that's the first battle you have won. And our voice tries maximum not to allow you to move. Picturize this in your mind. You are moving and one hand is holding you back and saying, mat jao, abhi mat jao. Correct? And our voice will put all its massive strength to pull you inside the house. I've been a victim to this myself. Right? The last 2.5 years, technology has helped us, but it has also spoiled us. So the first decision which I took was moving out of the house. Do I have work? No, I don't have work. It doesn't matter. Just moving out of the house. I just need one book in my hand so that I can start doing it again. Correct or not? So I keep telling to my people, move out of the house. Right? But is it easy moving out of the house? Hello? I hope all of you are here, right? Because the in-service has spotlighted me and I can see only myself. Few people on the right corner. Correct? Very serious subject or wrong subject? हाँ? तकलीफ हो रही है नहीं हो रही है? Right? Because until when I am talking, मुझे भी तकलीफ हो रही है. Because I am talking about what I did. I am learning myself out of this. I don't know about you. It's like मैं अपनी कुंडली बता रहा हूँ क्या क्या गलतियां किया है. Right? I hope my upline is not listening to secret. है ना? But what do you think? She doesn't know. She knows everything. Even if I don't tell, she would know what I'm doing. So moving out of the house, is it easy? What do we talk to ourselves? That's when the voice comes again. Because the moment the habit needs to be changed, the voice comes back. And what does the first statement we say? Upline doesn't understand my situation. उनको क्या मालूम है मैं क्या चीज से गुजर रहा हूँ. How many of you say this? Correct? उनको क्या वहां बैठ के बोलने में, she is now in Dubai settled, she can say all these things, right? I can't even say because I've seen that we've been together in that 1 BHK rented apartment, Sunday apartment. I remember the name of the apartment also, right? So we cherished all the memories that we have done in that house. Late night association, me and my wife go there, time छूट गया, last local train छूट गई, appliances stay back with me only. And we have stayed in our house also, correct? Will I get these chances again? So never miss a chance if your upline is calling you. So this will not come again to you, correct? If he or she is calling you to your home or to an association, go. And unless we don't go there, we can't change ourselves. We can't change our habits. So the voice comes and tells us, ठीक है घर से तो निकल जाऊंगा. I will go out of the house. What is the guarantee? Things will change. We ask for guarantees, right? Certainty. पिछली बार भी मैं गया था ऐसा, ये सब मैंने कर चुका हूँ. I have done all these things before. What happened? Who's talking? Who's talking? The voice of Sripal is talking. The voice of Balwant is talking, right? What is a guarantee? We always want a tangible outcome, correct? We want to see something. ये अगर मिलेगा तो मैं जाऊंगा. Or some people say, चलो ये भी करके देख लेता हूँ. What does this mean? The moment we say, चलो इस बार कर लेता हूँ, चलो I will try this once again. What does this mean? Again, I am testing the waters. Testing the waters, understand? Hot or cold. You're not decided. If I'm testing the waters, success will also test me, right? Success will also touch me and go. So I have seen several times success coming, touching me and going back again. Because I am testing the waters, I am testing the business. And we always say in welcome, right? The reference goes back to welcome again. If anything wrong that is happening, if you are not going, go back to your welcome. Ask your applying, can I sit for a welcome? Because that is where you again, welcome is like a garage wherein you send your vehicle, right? Because your entire mechanism needs oiling and lot of stuff. So from where do you get it? Welcome. So get connected to the welcome. Ask your upline, are you doing a welcome? Can I be a part of it? And sit with that open, not with the कि पहले भी सुन लिया चलो एक और बार, let me attend once more. Don't test welcome. Sit there for what gaps or what are you seeking for, right? We hold on to the past. Will I get the result? If I go out of the house every day, will I get the result? Because I have done this last week also. I have done this last month also. I have gone 4 days back to back to association. Nothing happened. Prospects are not lifting calls, right? And what people do, sit at home for 40 days. So after sitting at home for 40 days, did prospect lift the call? What happened? You stopped picking up your upline's call. Yes or no? Because of 40 days, you are playing match between you and your voice. The voice is winning every day. And you are like that beaten sportsman out of form. Then suddenly you don't feel like calling your upline. Suddenly, if your upline calls you, the moment the call comes, upline calling, what happens in the mind? क्या बात करूं? उठाऊं नहीं उठाऊं? Should I pick? Should I not put? What excuse should I give? Correct? So from where does all this comes? Arrogance, unknowingly. And success doesn't like arrogance. Right? Success doesn't like, and when we say that we have a little bit of arrogance, which means we are egoistic. We only call upline what we need to communicate or what we want to communicate rather. We don't communicate or we don't talk what we need to communicate. How many times it has happened you called up your upline for something else, but the discussion ended up with something else. And upline gives you some other message. तुम क्या चीज के लिए कॉल किया वो तो पता ही नहीं है. You might want Chavanpraj, the upline gives you something else. Correct? The people who understand this and accepts what he or she has given you, rather than again wanting, nahi, I wanted Chavanpraj only, which means then time आया नहीं है अभी. अब और time है. It's like going to a temple. प्रसाद मिलता है ना टेम्पल में, or any religious spaces you get something from their side, right? And you are expecting motichur laddu only. Will it happen like that? At times you get coconut pieces, at times you get sugar pieces. True or not? So whatever comes is your prasad. Have it. That's how applies. So I have done all these things. I called up for my what I want clarity for. But that discussion went up and she gave me some other feedback, which immediately I was not willing to accept. But later on, I understood. Thank God I understood. She is telling this. The only thing which I heard in systems also, if whatever you're applying or anyone is telling you, even if it is a truth, it is you're not liking it, check the intent of that message. Is that intent leading to your growth? Then accept it. Right? That's exactly moving out of the house. These are the things that we ask for. Certainty, warranty, guarantee. इस बार क्या बदलेगा? What will change this time? You have to change first to change the situation. Don't expect change to happen and then we have heard it in welcome, right? The change has to happen first, only then the situation will change. It's not we reaching there and things will change. The other part which we get into is we give up too soon. Any activity, anything that we do, we give up too soon. Give up means we are not giving up from the business. Okay. Most of us, we still are doing the business. Giving up too soon is taking breaks. If upline tells us to do something, do it today, do it by tomorrow, we delay it by one more day, we delay it by one more week. We want that 1 week. We want to do it at our own convenience. That is giving up too soon. If my upline is confident about me, is allowing me to give me some tasks, who am I to doubt that? Correct or not? And then we crib and cry some time later to pass on our judgment. आपने मुझे importance नहीं दिया. जब दिया तब judge किया. Yes or no? Correct? If upline is calling you, which means you are important, right? What else do we want? Upline is at least calling you, right? But we expect to be pampered. Nobody is going to pamper. Applying calling you for activities, checking, aaj ye hua wo, that itself means that you're an important person in the team. At least you have an upline. There are so many people, I'm sure they don't have an upline today. They're just wanting someone being there. And when these people get an upline now, they hold on to that person, build massively. And that has also happened. I've seen that also happening. And that's why I say maybe somewhere I was slow in picking up things from my upline. Correct? So don't give up too soon. If we keep talking to our upline on a daily basis, the chances are very low that we will give up. Keep applying whatever he or she is telling us to do. If they tell us to do something and if we delay, whose loss it is again? Our loss. They will keep moving. They will keep moving to different markets. And again, voice comes back, right? And the typical line, as I said, upline don't understand my problem. Some people say, oh, these people are favorites of upline. They give only attention to those people. Upline gave attention to us also, but we were too busy. Correct or not? It's like today, we are in this forum, and I'm sure when your upline is talking, how many of you experience some of them still keeping the video off? Unless that has been discussed with the upline and upline is aware the reason behind it, that's okay. Some emergencies. But otherwise, still there are people who are not in communication but still in off mode. Isn't that arrogance? Correct? It's like shutting your door and then you want success to come inside. जैसे दिवाली में पूजा करते हैं और हम दरवाजा बंद रखते हैं, लक्ष्मी खिड़की से आएगा. You don't need that one day to be keeping the door open. Keep our heart open. Do everything with the right intent. Don't judge. And that's how Lakshmi comes in. Correct? Some of us, like me, when you spend some years in the business, like we have experienced some corporate guys comes for a plan, comes with a lot of full cup mentality. How many of you have experienced this? They talk a lot. They don't allow the speaker to talk. So we are also like that only. We are not good listeners. We don't listen to our upline. We want to talk more. We want to show. We want to justify. We want to tell. नहीं नहीं आप जो बोल रहे हैं वो नहीं है, आप मेरे को गलत समझ रहे हैं. That again comes from arrogance only. Because to understand this business and do it effectively, our upline has given us all the waterfall process. Yes or no? It doesn't take more than 1.5 years or 15 months or a year max. Correct? The point is, are we applying that? We have all the knowledge that we have taken. We have all the notes. We can publish a book also. Last 2 years, whatever notes we have got, we can publish a book. But we are not applying. That acquired knowledge eventually becomes gyan if we don't apply onto achieving our goals. Correct or not? So I am the example of that. I had a lot of acquired knowledge. It's like challenging the electricity that I can run the entire power on inverter. Forgetting that the inverter gets its energy from electricity only. Correct? So who's the electricity in our business? The main power source? Our appliance, our systems, our trainings, our vcons, the books. Whatever our upline tells us to do, that itself is what we got to do. Don't look at it as a process. It's like a platter. Upline gives you a platter and says, the books, we sell, vcon, all these things you have to go through. 8 basic building blocks, welcome, activities that we have to take. But we pick and choose from that platter. Yes or no? अभी के लिए मैं ये कर लेता हूँ. I can come to systems, but I'll keep my videos off. Okay, I'll come to system and visual, but activities I'll do it at my own space. Don't force me. But I want to earn every month. Or if I'm not on, oh, no results coming in. Arrogance. Correct? So let's ask ourselves this question. Are we applying to all those knowledge, learning which our friends told us, given us for the past 2 years? They have put in a lot of things. Correct? So I know everyone has fought their own battle in their own way. Everyone had challenges in their journey. But we have to fight this every day. And what I understand is I'm not alone. My upline is there with me even today. Correct? I have applied brakes at many places, but now I have decided no more brakes. Knowingly, unknowingly, whatever reason it could be. We keep justifying. I don't want to justify anything. Because if I would have listened to everything, I would have been at a different place. Correct or not? I would have been at a different country, if not Dubai. Correct? So what will I do with this knowledge if I'm not applying it? And when I apply, only then I get a tangible result, right? The tangible result is an outcome of how we change our habits. And our habits are controlled by our own voice. So we have to fight battle every day with the voice. It will keep coming back. It will keep coming and saying, oh, this falana, this person has listened everything to the upline, still that person didn't grow. So what is the point? Right? फलाना आदमी अपना अपलाइन का सब कुछ सुन लिया 100% फॉलो किया उसको मालूम है कि उसने कितना 100% फॉलो किया है अप्लाई किया है क्या फॉलो नहीं but what is the other person judging oh this person is daily talking to the upline still that person has not grown which means communication is not the parameter that's your judgment that's arrogance and then we say oh no I don't judge that itself is not accepting is itself because this kirkir is there in the mind because if we don't communicate if we don't be true to ourselves the chances are very less because the upline is not going to argue with us it's not going to fight with us on this if you say this is how it is he or she will say okay fine no problem come back whenever you understand what you want to do they will not push you beyond a point and the moment you understand your upline is not pushing you that's an indication itself that we are the bottleneck correct whatever situation I am into I am the only person responsible for that situation but we try to put some scapegoat analysis right we need somebody na scapegoat the scapegoat could be health scapegoat could be too busy in office scapegoat could be festivals scapegoat could be the easy scapegoat is family right that's the easiest thing spouse is not supporting parent is not supporting and there are certain technical scapegoats prospects not lifting calls did we start business for prospect lifting calls or not lifting calls correct so I've decided for sure I'm putting it very short I've decided for sure that I'm going to fight it again and it's a daily battle I'm going to fight with myself right and try to be the best version of myself and the only person who can do it my upline only right so from the heart I would like to say sorry to my upline right wherever she is because I'm still there only because of this person I'm still there because of whoever was a part of my growth I'm very thankful for those people So today, I'm not standing here, or I'm standing here not because I'm successful. I'm here talking to you because of the experience I carry. Who has made most mistakes than anyone in this forum, right? Including the people who have not switched on the videos. You have to mention them also, right? So either you can judge me, बोल दिया, you can just pick it up for the sake of sharing and say some sentences or take the entire module during sharing, or pick up something from my experience and don't make the same mistake and apply for yourself so that we all grow consistently. Correct? So from the heart, let's promise to ourselves that we are changing our habits. I am changing my habit. I am fighting my voice. Are you all with me on this? Are you going to fight your voice and change your habits? Are you going to move out of your house? Right? Find a place, be there. Going out and being in that new place itself is a change. That itself is fighting with the voice. And then do everything what upline tells us to do. So that's for our personal growth. Without justifying or judging, I would rather say copy upline's constructive habits. Our uplines also has habits, right? So whatever our uplines are putting in the energy, copy them 100%. Copy those habits 100%. Not the talking style, their habits. We have a chance of growth. Spend a few hours in association daily. We have this online. You can connect with your upline wherever your upline is there. Correct or not? I'm sure it will not be easy initially, but if you do it daily, it becomes fun. Like I shared now, my initial years of association. We enjoyed, we had fun. Sitting at home, you will not be able to do all these things. You will be sucked by your voice. Who has all the knowledge but don't want to apply? What is the use? It's like a library, भरा पड़ा है books के, but nobody is there to go out and read that book. What is the use of that library? Nobody is wanting to use the book. धूल पड़े हैं उस पे लाइब्रेरी पे. So few things which I can tell, the factors, the communication, being in association, read books, that definitely will change you. I can't tell you what you will get out of the book, but you can today whatever I'm able to talk, your as a presenter or whatever, it is all the contribution of the books. Those examples and all comes from the books only. So we don't read books and then we are talking whether this will work or whether this will not work. And if at all we read, we are just reading for the name's sake. Read it to understand, communicate to listen, not to talk. And when you get a chance to talk, talk to network. What do? We don't talk to network. We talk to upline, wherein we have to listen with upline. That is where we keep talking. जहाँ talking करना है वहाँ talking नहीं कर रहे हैं. Some of us take the same prospects names again and again, which means we are not taking it forward. Why this happens? Because we are not communicating with upline. Because that is when they will tell you, na, ki, so we don't want to be caught by our upline. That's why we don't communicate. Right? So attend systems, trainings, beacon. That's the best. Things will change. right? So how many of you are really going to move out of your house? This house. When you move out of your physical house, every day this house gets worked up. Your furnitures will keep shifting around. It will take its own place. When you communicate every day, the chances are high you will come to association also. When you come to association, you will start enjoying that. Then you will want to spend more time there. And eventually your dream of coming out of a job, if you have one, it will happen one day. Correct? It's a combination of all these things, not one. That's why I said platter मिलता है तो सब खाना है, pick and choose नहीं करना है. Oh, I can not communicate, but I can come to association. No use. Communication, association, reading books, attending all the events, training, showing plans, doing activities, going through that waterfall process every day. So this combination will keep us into a good habit. And when the good habit comes in, the voice goes away. Sure? Are we ready to change the habit and fight the voice? So let's move out of the house. Thank you so much. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I am sure I've shared all my mistakes. And I'll continue to do mistakes, obviously. When you continue to do mistakes, that's when you're doing something right. But I'll try and see that I don't make the same mistakes again. Right? So go back to your upline. That friend of yours whom you trusted. That cousin of yours, that brother of yours, that spouse, whoever got you into the business, call up that person and say, this time not saying because I was told to say this, I'm saying because I mean it. And I'm sure your upline will not judge you. We all are still studying in the boarding school. Right? We are studying our own subjects. So let's get aligned to our upline. Correct? Let go of the past. Leave that kirkir. And let's all of us come back with a better story. So tomorrow, one of you would come and talk about a system. Who all wants to come and share in system? Right. Good. So let's change the habits. So one day we'll get this opportunity to talk. And rather than sharing mistakes, we will talk about what we did in life. So, thank you. Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Sandesh ji. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah. Bye.
Recording stopped.
घायल परिंदा है तू, दिखला दे जिंदा है तू, बाकी है तुझ में हौसला। तेरे जुनू के आगे अंबर पनाहे मांगे, कर डाले तू जो फैसला।
रूठी तकदीरें तो क्या, टूटी शमशीरें तो क्या, टूटी शमशीरों से ही हो